Welcome to story time. Hey, family. Shalom. Shalom. Hey, if you don't know, this is a 30 to 40-minute reading, and we are reading from the book, The Negro Question, written by none other than Mr. Lee B. Cummins, okay? Because he be coming with the facts, okay? Facts. And so what this is story time is a platform for us to learn our heritage, our to discover our birthright, to rediscover the things that were stolen from us who are titled as African American. Okay, so we uncover and reveal all those hidden truth that was taken from us, taken from our ancestors. And so, because we all know that they didn't just say, hey, I'm getting on the ship, I'm going to leave this and I'm going to go in there. They were stolen, right? So a lot of their customs, they were beaten out of them to fit and to let go. So in replacement, we were handed Christianity and just a lot of this other stuff. Okay. So story time, we read different books that kind of help rediscover our true heritage, our birthright, and again, in who we are as the Hebrew Israelites. Okay. All right. So before every story time, before we actually go into the book, I like to read scriptures. So the one scripture that we're going to read tonight is Psalms 91. I think it's so profound in today's society, and especially with what's going on in today's world. So grab your Bible, physically or electronically. It's good that you have a physical one because these you're going to have to throw them, okay? You're going to have to forsake them things. All right, so Psalms 91, and it reads, I'm reading from the Sefer Bible. He that dwells in the secret place of El Elyon shall abide under the shadow of El Shaddai. I will say of Yahuwah, he is my refuge and my fortress, my Elohim. In him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover you with his feathers, and under his wings shall you trust. His truth shall be your buckler, your shield and buckler. You shall not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flies by day, nor for the pestilence that walk in darkness, nor for the destruction that wastes at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come nigh you. Only with your eyes shall you behold and see the reward of the wicked. Because you have made Yahuwah, which is my refuge, even El Elyon, your habitation. There shall no evil befall you, neither shall any plague come nigh your dwelling. For he shall give angels, that's one of my favorite scriptures. He shall give his angels charge over you to guard you in all your ways. They shall bear you up in their hands, lest you dash your foot against a stone. And you shall tread upon the lion and adder, and the young lion and dragon shall trample under your feet. Because he has set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble, and I will deliver him and honor him. And with long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. This is so powerful because in Deuteronomy, hey Auntie, in Deuteronomy, the last was at 28 and 64. He says, "No man shall deliver you," right? No man shall redeem you. But in this scripture, he says, "And I will deliver." What is it? And you should be. It just made me think of that scripture. For let me see. I just read it. He shall cover you with the wings and feathers and truth. No, surely he, yeah, there you go. Verse 3. How did I miss all of that? Verse 3 it says, surely he shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And we know that the Most High is who we must look up to for our deliverance. And again, not to this world system, not to our government, not to any politicians locally. None of that stuff truly, truly, truly matters. But everyone has a role in play, right? All right. So, and again, let me, before I start on story time, let me just say that I am not anti-white people. I'm anti, you know, hate, hate or whatever. This is not a hate speech or anything or a hate reading because all I'm doing is reading books, making commentary. We just, like I said, I'm a lover of truth. I love rediscovering the things that were stolen from our ancestors, the things that weren't taught to us in this government school system. All these things I love and I want to share. So I just want to know, I just want to express, if you don't look like me, this is not a platform where I bash you because you don't look like me. This is a platform where I educate those that look like me and those that do not look like me. Get it? All right. Well, shalom, friends and family. We're going to go ahead and get started. I am 6 minutes into it. So, again, that's okay. All right. So, we left. So, we had some fun times because last week on Friday, we had these great little people pictures, and they was looking real colonizers. These were people that were supposed to be black. When I opened, when I was trying to be real nice, but when I opened to that page, my inside said colonizer. It didn't say black at all, but that's all right. That's all right. We could have, again, as you know, some of our history has, I'm not making excuses or anything like that, but a lot of our history, not the majority of our history, all of our history has been whited out. Okay. So what do I mean? So the people that we grew up learning about was really black. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and go back into, let me see. Professor Boyd Dawkins. Okay, so this is one of his eyewitnesses that kind of shares that, these what it says, Europe, England, Spain, were pretty much all the people there were black. Tawny, and keep in mind, Tawny is dark skinned. So we're gonna go back to this professor that said that basically they all started out black. Okay. All right, so here we go. So the inhabitants of Britain belong to very different races. And again, this is his quote. This is Professor Boyd Dawkins' quote. The inhabitants of Britain belong to very different races. Britain was inhabited by the Basque, which is dark skin, from ancient times, and they called themselves Roman citizens. In their books, they were called the Britons or Welsh. There are two types of Basque/Welsh. One is dark/black and 5 feet 4 inches, and the other is tall and round-headed. The question was asked, who were these people on page 103 of our earliest ancestors by Professor Boyd Dawkins? The professor states that the corpse or remains of the Basque can be found in France, Ireland, Britain, Scotland, Germany, Mediterranean, Spain, Portugal, and all over Europe. They just have our stuff, y'all. They got our stuff. Riddles of Prehistoric Times, page 58. Author James Anderson, 1911. Says the black Iberians in ancient times inhabited Western and Southern Europe. The northern part of Africa and all parts reach from the Mediterranean Sea. The Basque in Spain and France. Again, Basque meaning dark-skinned black. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, so his whole point is saying like the whites haven't even been there yet. We were here first. Okay, all right. We have two different European historians confirm that the original people of France were a black people called the Iberians or the Basque. This is how you get to the bottom of a long-standing feud. Not by arguing, but by reviewing the available, let me turn the page, data. I used to hang out at a restaurant on west side of Chicago briefly, where black preachers would congregate, right? And they would come together to talk about God, but they ended up arguing every day. And do you know why? These ministers never carried a Bible. If they had a Bible, it would have been a killed argument, because they could have read the scripture themselves. We could argue all day about the original color of the inhabitants of Britain, Germany, and France. If water puts fire out, then real hard evidence should end all arguing, right? You would think so, but that's not the case. Those of us who walk among the young lions know that the evidence means nothing to a blind man. That's a good sentence. When we were herded into the government-sponsored school system, we thought that darkness was light because we had never been introduced to light. Let me take a few minutes of your time so that I can tell you a story. Hello, so hashtag story time. One day, the elders was reasoning among themselves, and the question was asked, why do you suppose the angels listened to the lies of Lucifer, the fallen angel? One elder said, because he was the first angel created. And another elder was like, because he was a light bearer. Neither answer satisfied the crowd of elders, so they resumed arguing among themselves until at last an elder stood up in the midst and said, in the kingdom of God, there was no such thing as a lie. The angels had never heard a lie, and thus they believed their brother Lucifer, and thus darkness became light. The same thing happened to Adam and Eve. They had never heard a lie, and just like the angels, they believed Hasatan. The same darkness that overthrew the angels and the first man, Adam, has overthrown this generation. We have only been exposed to darkness, evil, twofold. When we enter into a government-sponsored school system, darkness, fiction, awaits us. This is the same teaching of false memories, world history, that the United Nations cannot validate. You didn't learn truth in school, so you go to the local church, and what awaits you? False memories. The churches are teaching a white Adam and Eve, Abraham, Moses, and the prophets. The churches have images of white Jesus or Yahushua and white Israelites. When they know that this is historically impossible. Impossible. Say it with me. Impossible. Historically. Cornell University, and I can go in on that whole darkness, but you know what? I want to see what else he got to say. But I really could, but I'm not. Cornell University has learned how to split light around an object, and poof, it looked like the object disappeared. The establishment didn't split light. They simply burned the books that contained the light. Academia doesn't have to worry about the things that they write, nor the tainted images in their books. Academia sits as a queen on a throne. Her power and authority is absolute. Can't touch it. Do 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 do. Can't touch it. Absolute. There is no established platform to challenge the things that academia teaches. Baby, I want to say academia, but you said it's academia. So I'm going to say what you said. The fix is in. Academia receives its power from the prince of darkness, Hasatan, the devil, the great deceiver. King Charles VI of France. So this is a picture of King Charles V of France slash Basque. It's going to be hard to see it, but I can definitely say that this brother looks like a brother. Don't mind my background, y'all, noise, because guess what? We live here. All right, so you can see. All right. This is an image of King Charles V of France. And as you can see, he and the royal family are depicted as Black people. Everybody in the image is Black, including the knight who has a nappy fro. I'm for the fro. Black King of France. Here's a shrine of Charlemagne. Aachen Cathedral, Germany, 1215. I thought it was going to say it was in San Francisco. No, it's in Germany. Here you go. Here's the shrine. We all see this? All right. When you look at this shrine, it is miniature form. In its miniature form, you can barely see the jewels that are hidden on it. But once you enlarge the images, it is breathtaking. Breathtaking. Took the breath. I've taken the liberty of blowing up the image on the next page. Why don't we turn that page? King Charlemagne, French Basque. Again, this is in Germany, so this is the image. This is supposed to take your breath. Go ahead. Breathtaking, okay? That looks like a brother. All right. So I enlarged this image of Charlemagne so that you could see the Blackness of this French king. This image fits the description of the Black Basque that Professor Boyd Dawkins and James Anderson described. Black French king. Here's another. This is this image of a skeletal remains. Okay, and Billy is doing the autopsy on the bones. I don't know what Billy is doing. Maybe he's Dave. Anywho, these skeletal remains of 200 people were found beneath a supermarket, literally, a supermarket in northern France. The grave site was discovered by a company called Monoprix. Once the skeletal remains were found, the company called the French National Institute for Preventive Archaeological Research. On the surface, it just looks like a bunch of skeletons. But if you know what you are looking for, then you realize the treasure at hand. I have enlarged the images of the skeleton on the next page. All right. The only people on the earth that possesses wide nostril passages or big noses are the Black races, and these skeletal remains found in France have the nasal passages of Black people. Memoirs of the life and writings of Benjamin Franklin. On the road yesterday, France, traveling to Nadies, we met 6 or 7 country women in company on horsebacks and astrides. Most of the men have good complexion, not swarthy like those in North France and Abbeville. Not dark-skinned, that's what he's trying to say. Not Black like those of North France and Abbeville. Take a wild guess. Which part of France do you think these Black skulls were found in? North France. That's my guess. If you said northern and central France, you just hit Lee's history. Oh, you good. You good. Okay. You just hit Lee's lottery. That's what it said. Let's examine the testimony of Thomas Jefferson concerning the Blackness of the French people. Memoirs of Thomas Jefferson. The storming of the Bastille. 60,000 Frenchmen of all colors. Okay. The King of France came to Paris. I felt like I should say it like that, and I still said it wrong. Paris. leaving the queen in consternation for his return, omitting the less important figures of the procession. I will only observe that the king's carriage was in the center. On each side of it, states general in two ranks, a foot at their head, the Marquis de Lafayette as commander in chief, on horseback, and guards before and behind them, about 60,000 citizens, French citizens, of all forms and color. Thomas Jefferson gives an eyewitness or memoirs account of the population in France during the French Revolution. Thomas Jefferson was the minister or ambassador to the French, and he said the French were all colors. Very important. Not because I said it, but because this brother have it written in bold. So it's black and bold. So it's important. Okay. Who are you going to believe? Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, or the guy writing 250 years later? I'm throwing my hat with the two witnesses, Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson. See the black French soldiers on the next page for the black French soldiers. You know I'm black, you know it. If you didn't hear that song when you saw this image, I don't know what to tell you. You should have heard it. You should have saw the dance too. Okay? You know I'm bad. You know what? It don't matter. You know what he meant. Maybe it was supposed to say, you know I'm black. Anywho, this picture is found in Benicia, California. Crazy. Y'all know that's a whole entire lie. It's found in Germany. Okay? This is how you do it. This is how you do it. I'm filled with songs tonight. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. You have to go back in time and find artifacts, memoirs, eyewitnesses account before the advent of racism, 1800. And then you will see the real history of the world. I have blown up the image on the next page so that you can see the true blackness in these French soldiers, okay? Here are the French soldiers. Come on. Again, I'll show you. And I feel like when he said that, this how you do it. Nope. That's probably what he had in mind when he wrote that line. I love writers. They're so creative. Okay, these French soldiers fit the eyewitness account of the French National Museum concerning the skin of King Louis VI. His skin is black as ink. That line is written in bold black letters and it's underlined, okay? So it's very important. Sorry, I just saw my ancestors in chains right now because I know he's not about to tell me that this man is black. Okay, so let me see what he's about to say. French Commander Charles D'Estaing, New York Public Library. Okay, you still got to catch a plane, but it ain't a few planes. Okay, this black Frenchman. Where? Do y'all see black? Maybe this is the whitening out process. I don't feel comfortable lying to y'all. Not on purpose. Y'all see black? You let me know what you see. I don't see that. Again, a lot of our brothers have nasals. There's features that we have. Where? I don't see it. So, I'm trying to say this black because I don't see it. But this question mark Frenchman who fought violently on the side of the 13 colonies was to die a horrible execution in his own land, France. During the French Revolution, the Black King, admirals, and commanders were beheaded and denied re-entry into France. This was a tactic that Napoleon used to observe, not dynamite. Napoleon, um, man, I'll be having moments. Sorry. Used to observe power in France. The old lion and the young lions were denied entry into France. Yes, Auntie Sheila, I don't see it either. I was looking hard, and I don't even have glasses on. Maybe if I take these lashes out, I could see the black one, the blacks. I don't see it though. I won't lie to y'all. But this brother, when I saw this, I heard the song "We Moving On Up to the East Side." Look, show me him first, okay? I believe him. Him, colonizer. Him, I believe. I believe, okay? This is French General Alexander Dumas, 1762 and 1806. Location is Wikipedia. Girl. The black man was one of the greatest general in this black man, this one, not this one. This one that's on the horse. He black for real. Yes, Auntie Shelly on the beat. He black for real. He for fake. All right. So this black man on the horse was the greatest generals in the French army, second only to Napoleon. Ooh, Bonaparte. Almost said dynamite. When Napoleon ordered his men to shoot the Negro nose off Sphinx, General Alexander Dumas was there. Napoleon had given false memories. He was taught that blacks had never accomplished anything, never built a civilization, had no history. When the artificial man, Napoleon, set foot in Egypt, his false memories crumbled before the black statues of the pharaohs. We have whites in this generation who are still who are still trying to prove that ancient Egyptian was white. When the word Egypt means, somebody want to guess? When the word Egypt means, that's right, black, just like Ethiopia. That was like, say, call somebody dark skin, blackface. Anywho, that's not here or there. Okay, but the word Egypt means black. Black French generals Dumas. This dude. I don't know what they're doing with Casper over here. Okay, you got to excuse my face expression, but his quote gives him a pass. Okay, he definitely looked like somebody. Let me shut up. Let me show you. Okay. William Shatner, great father. Hmm. Hmm. When I saw this picture, I saw William Shatner. Okay, listen. But this is his response to racism. My father was mulatto, my grandfather was a Negro, and my great-great-grandfather a monkey. You see, sir, my family starts where yours end. So we talking about this evolution crap, but that's what he was taught. Anywho, Alexander Dumas was the son of the French general Alexander Dumas, and he was hailed as one of the greatest writers in French history. Mr. Dumas wrote The Three Musketeers, The Count of Monte Cristo. Oh, we have to read that book. I never saw a black face on it. Okay. The Vicante, I don't know what this is, but it's a good book. And The Night of the Saint Hermine. It is a statement that he makes in the last book that he wrote that bears investigating. It is a statement that he makes in the last book, which is The Night of the Saint Hermine, that he wrote that bears investigating. And then here he goes. He's going to quote it. He says, "The first 10 years of my life was spent in the land of a mixed race people." Stop. That's what he said. From the time From time to time, you are going to see eyewitnesses' statement that you have to read earlier chapters, but it is necessary to build a case for the research in this book. Be patient. Thanks. The French were swarthy in northern French. In 1778, Benjamin Franklin was the ambassador to France. This means that Franklin lived among French people and he wrote memoirs, what he saw, that makes Franklin an eyewitness. Memoirs of Thomas Jefferson. I saw 60,000 Frenchmen of all colors. Thomas Jefferson lived among the French people and he wrote memoirs, what he saw. This makes him an eyewitness just like Franklin. Now that we have cleared this matter up, let us proceed to one of the great secrets, and there are many, sir, there are many, of American Revolution. One of the secrets of American Revolution is that the fact that Black German troops fought under the French umbrella. Did anybody know that? Ooh, wait. You bad. He a brother. Okay. I saw Pinky from Friday after the next one. I saw him. Okay, so where we at on time? All right, cool. 10 minutes and we're almost done. The Royal Dukes Ponce Infantry was a German military outfit. The founder under the French umbrella, they were largely recruited from Zweibrücken, Germany. The Royal Regiment of Two Bridges, commanded by the Comet Christian de Forbach, was part of a French expeditionary force that was sent to the United States to help it fight for its independence. The regiment was commanded by Comet Christian Forbach, and his deputy commander was his brother, and one of the 4 regiments that arrived at Newport in 1780. The regiment went on to participate in the Battle of Yorktown on the side of the Americans. Many of the soldiers came from the region around the city of Zweibrücken. I don't know this Germany word, but yes, it's in there. That word is pronounced spelled Zweibrü, 2 dots at the top of the U, Cken. I have provided you with an image of George William Count Palatine of Zweibrücken himself. This is what the Germans looked like that fought under the French flag at Yorktown. Yet there is no record of these Black German Europeans. See the enlarged image below. Here you go. Okay. This is what German Duke George Berkensfield image looks like blown up. This simply means that the Royal Dukes Ponce, though fighting under the French flags, were actually Black Germans. This validates the words of Benjamin Franklin, who declared the French and the German are swarthy, which swarthy meant dark-skinned. Benjamin Franklin wrote this essay 24 years before the American Revolution in 1775. 24 years is not enough time for 24 years is not enough time for a people's skin color to change. You got to be quicker than that. In future chapters, the white historians will testify that the French and the German immigration totals were accidentally added together because they looked identical. Black. Here's a picture of the Haitian Revolution. Again, what do you see? Right. This is another secret of American Revolution, and there are many. In American Revolution War, 4,000 free black Frenchmen, 800 were riflemen, who supposedly came from Haiti, and that's underlined. Haiti fought on the side of the American colonists in its revolt against the English. This all black Haitian unit fought in the Battle of Savannah, Georgia, Charleston, South Carolina, 1780, Pensacola, um, Sarasota, Florida, 1781, and Yorktown in 1781. The number allotted of historians placed the black free, because some of us think we're free now, free Haitian soldiers at 500. This means that the French had in their own army over 5,000 black, German, and Haitian soldiers. German General Cornwallis surrendered 8,000 black, German, Haitian/British troops at Yorktown. Do we have any memoirs that describe the soldiers that fought at Yorktown? Yes, we have the memoirs of German Private George Daniel Floor. This is what he says. He says, 3 days later, on the morning of October 18th, the articles of capitulation of the English armies, British/Germans, in Yorktown were signed. The defeated army marched out that afternoon, and the Royal Dukes Ponce, German/French, held the place of honor among the French troops present. Afterwards, the troops were free to inspect the damage they had inflicted. Fleur was horrified. Everywhere dead bodies lay around unburied. They were moron or/black. Morin comes from the word mor, which means black. What armies fought at Yorktown? The Germans, French, Haitian, Scottish/Irish, Britain, Welsh, and the American colonists. These are all the nations who Benjamin Franklin said were swarthy/black in 1751. And now you have a soldier, George Floor, who was present at Yorktown saying these nations of men were black. Who am I supposed to believe, this modern historian or the eyewitnesses? It's a no-brainer. I got to go with the eyewitnesses. The establishment has the usual party line for us, and do you know what that is? Sorry, he said, and do you know what that is? These black soldiers were freed slaves or runaway slaves. They were fighting for their freedom. Nothing changed. We're still fighting for our freedom today, but we're going by it the wrong way. We think voting is going to get our freedom back. We think because we don't see any whites only water fountain that we free. Whites only bathrooms that we free. No more whites only restaurants. We still think that we free. But we fighting for our freedom in cries of justice. Listen, no man shall redeem you but the Most High. Our freedom comes through truth, and it comes through the Most High. And that's what it is. Our freedom is not coming through. We cannot be hoodwinked any longer. We think our freedom is going to come through this vaccine, this jab, so we can get back to normal when normal ain't normal. Freedom is in truth, he said, and truth shall make you free, and the truth shall make you free, not set. I always feel like there's a difference there. Rubs me wrong when people say set. There's some time there, but when it make, I feel like it's just instant. Okay, the truth shall make you free, And so it's not in, we can't be duped, okay? We're still fighting today, but their strategies is different. Just like we're fighting in different ways, their strategy is different. They can take off the white only signs. They can have we can have school in, it's just different. Their strategy is different. But we are not free. Not when you getting killed by the dozens, okay? Not when they marketing this jab to your people and you got your people telling you to take it. You're not free. Can't be. All right, let me finish this page. I don't even know why I went all the way over there. Okay, listen. Sorry. The establishment has the usual party line for us, and do you know what that is? These black soldiers were freed slaves or runaway slaves. It just makes me think of Antebellum. He said, "Whatever small freedoms you think you have." That was a powerful line to me because they be telling you the truth. They look at us like y'all enjoying these small freedoms that y'all think y'all have. That's not even what y'all got. Anywho, they were fighting for their freedom. This is always the establishment or narrative when they see blacks with guns during the colonial era. They don't want us to have no guns. Anywho, in today era, okay? That's what they set up. Shut up. Anywho, the establishment narrative is illogical and it makes no sense. You beat this black man, rape his woman, sold his children into slavery. Would you turn your back on the angry black man if he had a gun in his hand? The narrative is illogical and it makes no sense. Listen to the warning that Pharaoh gives in Exodus 1 and 8 through 10. He says, from the 17th dynasty of Egypt, gave to his people. He said, "Come on, let us deal wisely with them." Israel, he's talking about Israel, dealing with them as Israel, lest they multiply and come to pass that when there is a war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. If Pharaoh Chemos was alive today, he would tell you the same thing that I am telling you. The narrative from the establishment make no sense. Have you forgotten about the John Brown massacre, Stonewall Rebellion, and the many slaves rebellions in the South? Think. Chapter 5, the Black Haitian State. It is a known fact that we're going to have to pick this up tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Yeah, at 7 o'clock, we're going to have to pick this up. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and listen. I mean, listen. When they talk about, like, the real threat is when Judah wake up to who they are. Who are you, Judah? You are the express image of Elohim. I just read something and it just blew my mind. And that's the problem. We don't see ourselves as the express image of Elohim. We don't carry ourselves that way. Because when you carry yourself as a real express image, and he said, I made you lower, a little lower than the Elohims. He never said man, he said Elohims. That should give you some kind of, when you know how he created you, you will you gonna uphold the commandments, right? Because you're his express image. And if he don't act like that, you can't act like that. But see, they don't want you to know who you really are. These elites don't want you to know what's in your bloodline, who your bloodline is tied to, because that is going to make you free. That's going to make you drop all these shackles on your mind. Where the mind goes, the body's going to follow. If they can get your mind in a mental slavery, you don't need to see a white only sign to see slavery. You don't need that. Tactics are different. Show you a slave movie every single year, and you pay to go see this slave movie every single year that reconditions and says to you subconsciously, you're nothing, you come from nothing but slaves. Them movies don't say you come from Judah. Them movies is just reconditioning. I'm the master. I'm your slave master. You come from nothing but slaves. Never said you come from doctors, lawyers. It's just slaves. When Judah wakes up, baby, hello, somebody. This world will experience a peace that it has never experienced in its life. They don't want peace. The elites, for those, well, who are they? I don't know them by name, but somebody run this world, right? This is a whole Truman Show. Listen, we have got the Hebrew Israelites, and I'm not talking about those that are associated with religion, because we denounced religion. We came out of it, and some of us are still coming out of it, and some of us are still there. I was there. Thank Yah, he woke me up, and I came out. And I'm still overcoming some stuff and coming out of stuff, right? Because it's not just church. You got to come out of this whole thing, okay? But when we start coming out and coming back to him, my Yah, this is why we must carry ourselves in the express image of him, because that's who we are. And that's why we're not better than anybody, but that's why our responsibility is heavier than anybody in this world. Because we are the image of Elohim. We can't do what the world does. We can't do what you do. We cannot. We got to show you how to walk this thing out, because we're his. Do you get what that means to be the express image of the Most High? Copied and paste, okay? He's the copy, you're the paste. Y'all look just alike. Character, how you talk, walk, y'all look the same. Y'all are aligned. Y'all are in one. Y'all are one. You hear me? Copy, paste. You are the express image of the Elohim. You must carry yourself as such. You must carry yourself as such, not through religion, but through love. Through guarding those commandments. You must do that, Judah. You must. You must let go of the ways of the heathens. Let them have their stuff. But guard your brother. When you think of your brother, pray for him. When you think of your sister, pray for her. Guard her in prayer. If she don't like you, guess what? She's still the express image of Elohim. She just don't know it, but you do. Treat your brother right, because you're not treating your brother wrong. You're treating the express image of Elohim wrong. That's a dangerous place. Let's look at our brothers as such. Not as just, oh, he get on my nerves. Listen, this is some stuff that I had to learn, and I'm still learning how to do. He hit me with this today, okay? And I'm just sharing it. Let's see ourselves and our brothers and sisters through the eyes of the Mashiach. We're not just regular people. We got to guard this thing. And so when you're thinking of your brother and sister, or you know that your sister is slipping, you cover your brother and sister, not in their wrong, but in prayer. And you ask the Most High if it's for you to say something. If it's not, then you cover them in prayer until the Mashiach do it. Till then, you guys stand firm in his word and in his truth. And just know that the Most High love you. I don't care if you don't look like me. He still loves you. And you come into the fold too. We love you. All right. So I just wanted y'all to know that he loves you. I love you. And we all in this. This is a process. This is not a 90-day thing. This is a day-by-day, sometimes second-by-second walk. And that's okay. As I see you, I see the express image of Elohim. Shouldn't see that craziness. Not every single day. We ain't gonna get it perfect, y'all. But I should see the express image of Elohim. With that being said, Father Yah, we thank you for your word. We thank you for the book, The Negro Question, Yah. I thank you for Mr. Lee Cummins. I pray that you will continue to have your angels charge over him and protect him and guard him, Yah. Just continue to give him revelation, Yah. Continue to give him wisdom, and continue to just meet every need that he has. Yeah, only you know what Mr. Lee Cummings need, and yeah, I just pray that you will provide his needs for his family and just how you have been doing. Yeah, thank you for our brothers and sisters that joined us on Story Time. Yeah, let us remember that we are truly the express image of you, and that we should carry ourselves in such in word, deed, and mannerism. Yeah, help us to get to that point. Yeah, help us to see one another as such and walk in love. Yeah, give us patience. Help us to be patient with one another, and let us not um, carry ourselves as let us not think of ourselves highly as we ought to. Yeah, because let us always remember that through humility is the foundation through everything. Yeah, so let us walk in humility and let us not get big-headed in anything. Yeah, because we don't know when you coming. So let us always gather ourselves in position, in mind, gather our mind, body, and spirit. Yeah. And I thank you for what you're doing. I thank you for what you're going to do with story time. And just continue to have your way. In Yahweh name we pray. Amen. Amen. Bye. Love y'all.